Alright, so this is the front yard of the farm. Taking a look at the house. The ivy's all on it. Now, this is our 16-foot cube truck that my bud picked up at an auction. That's one of the lawn tractors. This is the 2305 lawn tractor. This is the Tempo tool shed. Beside that yellow thing is a snow blower for one of the lawn tractors. This is the rotiller for the garden. This is the other lawn tractor. As you can see, quite a bit of yardage. This is the Massey Ferguson 135. This is our giant swimming pool, 50 foot by 20 foot. Here's the garden. And that's the Massey Ferguson 165. That's our security system right there. See? Because farmers don't really call cops because we are all armed. And it's not uncommon for, as you can see, a farmer to have a whole bunch of freshly turned over earth. And it pretty much doesn't take more than 15 minutes to dig a 15-foot deep hole to store intruders. Anyways, this is the old barn all falling apart in the middle there. The barn's essentially 150 years old. Now, what we also have coming over here, some more equipment purchased at auction. Pressure washer. This is a scissor lift that my father's currently using to redo the balcony here. This is a total mess. These apple trees. And in the back of the house, here's our river. Turtle Creek. This is all the wood that he bought to do the deck here. Now we see the front of the 2305. This looks like a lawn tractor, but if you look at how thick the steel is, it's not exactly going to fall apart any day soon. This is the attachment putting on stuff like the backhoe onto the back of the 2305. Now going into the extension of the house. Well, when you come into the extension, you start off with the tool shed. Look around and let's go upstairs. So we come upstairs, have all sorts of tools pretty much everywhere. Here's the table saw. Cabinet saw, General International, and you can see right now there's a whole bunch of junk on it, but it extends all the way this way so that you can put on 4x8 sheets of plywood. Other tools all up in here. It's getting a little dark in here. This here underneath here is a radial arm saw, for those who know. Kind of surrounded by junk. This was built 20 years ago and never completed because it seemed more convenient to have it as a tool shed than to have it as an actual kitchen, which is what it's supposed to be. So now we go into the basement. Coming down into the basement, I'll cut straight across to where there's light. Here is the planer. Just slide that out on wheels. Lights out. Right over the table. More workshop space. Then behind here is a cold room storage. Now we come back here into the metal shop. This is underneath the extension here. So here we have the first basic standard hand controlled mill, steel mill, all of the bits. Here's the Weymouth knee mill, Bridgeport style knee mill, computer controlled, still in the process of being built. It was originally installed, I think purchased 5 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. It looks like it's the computer screens in here. So come back in here. This is our basic drill press, bandsaw, radial steel cutting saw, more bits and tools and die, and this is the other baby, steel lathe. Yeah. Also needs to be fitted with CNC, sitting in a box. This is one of the heads, just to give you an idea how big this thing is. Here's my hand. That's the lathe. Air compressor. It's like a virtual maze here. Belt sander. And then we have this here is a surface grinder. Basically making sure that it's essentially a wheel that goes onto there, and you can flatten out a steel surface. This here is a gear maker. The head of this part here basically slides back and forth like that, and then it cuts the teeth from when making gears. And here's the vacuum, 6-inch hose. In the back there is a steel hydraulic press for a brake, cutting up to I think an 1/8 of an inch thick steel. So this is the workshop for the farm. Haven't even begun to go into the barn, but as you can see, it's all sorts of tools and equipment. This is the Cockshot 20. Down over there is a flail mower when we want to cut grass. Got a deck that's about 8 inches wide. All sorts of stuff. Railroad ties, even older tractors. Now we're getting into bee equipment. Vehicle graveyard for spare parts. And here we have the bees over in the field there. And this is my 26-foot 1969 Airstream Overlander. So it's currently closed up right now. And we come back outside. The front yard and the fields. Pretty much everything you see is our front lawn. Used to be used for fields and stuff, but not anymore. We got some nice giant willow trees here, which are about 50 feet high. Back around. And that's the farm where I grew up. Been in the family for over 160 years.